Hey everyone. So today I have a first look at the new Payroll Control Center functionality for Manage Payroll Activities. So as you can see here, I have this within my SAP SuccessFactors instance. And so just like you might be used to, I have the different tabs over here. And with role-based permissioning, I've actually added the new ones we have here, starting with this Manage Payroll Activities. We have a couple other applications. I may cover those in future videos here, but this is Manage Payroll Activities, and it is essentially the successor for the my processes or the corresponding one for this. And as you can see, I have a payroll process here. I have the period, the date, and then it has information about it. It shows me the progress. It shows me ongoing activities, and then kind of what's going on. I can click into this, and now, as you can see, this looks much different than what you're used to, and in a good way, right? And so you can see that we have a different look, but you have the entire payroll process kind of visualized here. And so you can see that there are successor activities or predecessor activities, such as we have to create test payroll results prior to us being able to do payroll monitoring. So the underlying steps here are not different than what we've been doing with PCC, but at the same time, it looks different and it comes with some advantages for this where you can have one step here and then a couple things happening concurrently, or a standalone step where monitoring master data quality that does not need you to create test payroll data. So this can kind of run at the same time as this. But the ideal goal here is you want to create the test payroll data, and then you'll be able to monitor that, look at KPIs, clear alerts. So the concept of PCC is still the same. We can also do create test payroll posting documents and monitor master data. And then the end goal being, let's make sure all of this is good. And then at that point, we can open payroll and run payroll. And so the way that this works is within each one of these, they can have multiple steps within this, right? And so create test payroll data, the first one only has a singular step, and this is execute test payroll. And so if you look at this, this is running the payroll program many of you are familiar with. And then I have some high level statistical information here. So the number of employees, as well as the number of periods. And then just as we've kind of been playing around with this, built a tile here for net and gross. Not sure if this necessarily is the best place for it. One of the cool things you have is you can navigate back, so not just to where I was coming from, but even back to like the home page if I wanted to, right? And so I can easily navigate there. Now, if I take a look at monitoring master data quality, this particular one has two steps. So this is to execute the validations, just like we've seen with PCC in the past. And then the second one is, again, basically our monitoring dashboards. And so we've been building this out a little bit, but you can see we have this alerts by status, by processor, alerts by validation rules, and we can see some information here. So these are essentially our KPIs, and yes, you still do have the ability to drill into these. The other part we have, which is a button over here, is manage alerts. So now, just like we've had with PCC before, we have specific alerts. And so we have a couple examples here. Employees exempt from federal taxes as one example that we have, employees locked for payroll, or employee missing certain types of data here, right? And so I'm able to click into this and see some information. So if I click the first one, I'm able to see, in this case, what you typically call the root cause analysis that you might be used to. And so you can build this out and see details about this alert. So as you're kind of looking into it. And so in this case, just for the purposes of seeing what this looks like, we're able to see high level employee information, who this person is. And then if I want to click into this, then you can kind of see, and this might look familiar with this. Going through the screens, you can see you can kind of move things over left, right. You're also able to close or expand certain things if you want to. We'll take you back here. And then we also have the navigation as well, right? So I can always go back to that initial step. And so this shows kind of looking at master data, and it's separate, it's standalone, as I pointed out earlier. But part of these is certain steps have prerequisites. So I can't monitor payroll data quality until we create test payroll results, and that makes sense. But the cool thing about this is I'm able to see the whole thing, but this doesn't have to wait on this, and things can be standalone. Or I finished this, and both of these can kick off at the same time. But now looking at my payroll data validations. So once again, two-step process where you execute payroll validations, and then we can click in and do monitor payroll validations over here. And so a couple things here, you can see I have KPI charts. And one thing you'll notice is the KPI charts are bigger than what you might be used to with PCC. I think they look really nice. But additionally, there's actually a new type of chart, an area chart. And so in this case, I'm able to see, I think what this one is showing is the number of employees or the percentage of employees with a certain wage type, right? And so in this case, everyone has gross pay or net pay or 99%. I think there might be maybe one person that aired out or something along those lines. But in this case, I'm able to kind of see a new type of area chart, which I think is pretty cool here. And then I would also be able to see payroll specific alerts by clicking over here. And so now these are the ones that I know I've shown past demos of, pay deviations or payments over a certain amount. And so you're looking at payroll specific exceptions, and then you're going to take a look and investigate those. So just like we had with PCC before, if I look at this and I click into Jeff Hill, you're able to see, okay, this person has a pay variance. Oh, okay. I can scroll over to the right and keep this over here. And so net pay details, this is my current period. This is my previous period. I made this a very light exception. So just wanted to trigger this, and we've been playing around with this. And then if I scroll down here, what I can see is details about the gross and net. But unlike the previous chart, this is specific to this employee. So even though it looks very similar, I'm able to see it for this employee. I am also able to see a full wage type list. I think this is pretty cool. So if I look this wage type list here, I'm able to kind of see, okay, this is my employee, this is the amount. So total gross, here's the amount, payment amount, here is what it is. Withholding tax, I'm able to see that information here as well. And if I go back to this, I can close this out, or I need to go. You still have to kind of play around with some of these things, but another one, wage type comparison. So I think this is a great example of something you'd want to look at. And so it shows for Jeff the previous period, current period, and difference in amount. And we actually have all of these different wage types. So, here's net pay 560 if you're used to it. As I scroll down, I can even see things like slash 102, and some of these might not be different. If I scroll down, I have the ability to show more, and then I'm able to see all of the details over here as well. So starting with gross pay, net pay, all the way to like tax information as well. And I can see the clear deltas of this. So yeah, able to see this. And then once again, I kind of, as I showed earlier, we can navigate, if I wanted to, all the way back home. And so, yeah, I think it's really good functionality. I will say, there's a lot of work to be done as well in terms of building out the content for this and the rich KPIs and alerts, because it is a little bit different. So, you want to have the right expectations for this. So, you want to be, if you're comfortable being on the cutting edge of payroll, then I think this is phenomenal. And I really think SAP has an amazing vision for this. If I scroll down, I won't go into some of these. I haven't started them, haven't done with some of them, but you can see the steps here. So productive payroll, this is one step process for execute productive payroll. I can click into this, and in this case, I don't have any details here for it yet, but I'm able to see what it is. And then if I look at it, I'm able to do other things. Payroll sign off. So this is a non-system activity to be able to sign off on payroll. And then I can exit my payroll, and then I can do post payroll processes as well. So it doesn't, it can be visualized in this manner. All right, well, this is the first look. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out, and thanks for watching.